Hi all, welcome to my channel. I'm Matt, this is Matt's Modz, and this is the second instalment today of Build the X-Wing, as it's X-Wing Wednesday. So we have issue 70 of Build the X-Wing. Now I thought we were actually attaching the wings in this issue, but we're not. We're working on another motor, well, gearbox and motor in this issue, so this shouldn't be as bad. Hopefully, fingers crossed, as what I thought it was going to be. But I do know that issue is coming up very, very soon. So, let's get started on this model. Let's get modelling. Right, let's get started. So, this is electric motor and gearbox. First of all, we need this part here. This is the gearbox casing, just like that. And then we need this cog here, and this is the actuating gear. Now, if I put close-up camera on, be able to see this better, but you can see on one end we've got like a bit of a roughish edge. Now it's that edge that we need to put in first. So let's go back to build camera, and we're going to be putting it into this hole here, and make sure it goes all the way down. Now it does say it will pop out the other end, that is fine. Right, so the next part we need the other spindle. Just trying to get it. It decided to go flying across the room. Good job for magnetic screwdriver. So we'll bob this spindle into this second hole, just like so. And then we need to get the reduction gears in. So this is the first one here. And we'll basically, just like we did in the other gearbox, we're going to be building this up. So that's the first one. Then it wants us to put one on this side. So we'll put one on this side. As you can see, that's all interlocking together. I'm just going to turn the page of the magazine over. And then lastly, we've got one to put on this side. And that's that all built up. Okay, so the next part we need is the cover, gearbox cover. Now it's just making a point of two holes on here that we need to make sure line up with them gears, which is easier said than done sometimes. But it won't fully go down unless they're lined up, which they are. And then we need to screw this in place. And that wants to be done with some good old XW08 screws. And we need 4 of them. We've been given quite a lot of screws. We've been given screws that we've never used before. We've got some XW09 screws and some XW010 screws. So quite a lot of screws. So we're going to screw this into place. I love working on electrics. Okay, last one. Just to go in there. Okay, right, now we've done that. Next we need is this tiny cog here and this motor here. And we need to basically put this on. Now I'm going to do what I did last time. That is to push it on like that. But it's actually saying it wants it to go down further. So what I'm going to use is these and try and push this down further. I think this is going to be easier said than done getting it started, but once it's down it should be okay. Excuse the noise outside. It's the school holidays and everybody's going crazy. Right, this is difficult to engage. See if tweezers can do it. Right, yeah, that's gone down. Now it's saying it wants a little small gap down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my metal ruler. Just trying to see how I can get a gap in there. I would say it's definitely the thickness of the ruler. I'm just thinking of something I could use. Maybe if I get a flat-headed screwdriver. Yeah. Right, let me just pause and I'll come back to you. Okay, so that was easier said than done, but I've got that gap now and I can actually get this metal ruler down there, and that's a nice good gap down there. The problem is once that was going to go with the force that was putting on it, it inevitably would just go anyway, right down to the bottom. Right, so I had to get a few things out there to do trial and error, but some tweezers in the end managed to give me that gap. Right, so the next part we're going to be fitting the motor into the housing. Now I'm just looking which way this is going round. Do believe it's going that way around with the wire facing downwards. So let's push that into place. And then like before, we've got this part here, and we're just going to be fitting this on. So over the motor, onto the bit at the back, and then onto it. Okay, let me just turn the page of the magazine over again. Lots to do. And then we need to secure that in with an XW08 screw. Okay, that's an XW8 screw in place. The next part we need is this bit here, and this is the Droid actuator. Very nice name. And we need to be putting this onto this part here. Now they've got it, I don't think it really matters, but they've got it facing with this tab upwards. And that just pushes on. Just like that. Fantastic. Okay, moving on, we're still not done. So the next part is this. This is a switch to tell R2-D2 when to stop rotating its head. And this needs to go onto here. Now it's going that way around, this bit here facing towards this that we've just put in. And again, we just push that down into place. So we move that to one side, because the next bit we need is this bit here, this bit here, this bit here, and we need an XW10 screw. Now I'm just working which is the better screwdriver head for this screw. Yeah, maybe that one. Okay, so turn the page of the magazine over. I think this is the last time I have to turn the magazine over. Yes, it is. Right, so if I go on to close-up camera, in here there is a positive and negative. It's not very good with the light, but this more or less tells you which side is which. So back to the camera, and what we need to do, we got these bits here. Now these bits are the bits that are going to connect to the bottom of R2D2 and light him up. But we need to make sure that the positive, and we've got a label there, goes onto the positive connection and through the hole. So might be easier to do it that way around. I'm just being very careful with these because they feel a bit flimsy. These wires just feel rather, yeah, like they could break. Okay, so trying to be very careful. So we'll put the next pin in. I think at this point it doesn't really matter how far we go in. So that's them in place, and then we've got a cap that we need to put on. Now I'm just wondering which way this cap goes on. It goes on this way because we've got this raised area, and that I believe is going to keep them down. I just need to train that wire to come out the hole like that. Make sure we've got this the right way around. Push that into place, and that then wants to be screwed in with an XW10 screw. So very exciting. Now PHO screwdriver for this one. Okay, right, so what we need to do next is we now need to fit this onto here, and we're going to do this basically this way around. We've got two springs, so we need to put one spring over this shaft here, another spring over that shaft there. We then need to get this, bring this over. We are then going to put that on top of there like so, and then we're going to screw this into place with some XW09 screws. Now we've been given a lot of XW8 screws, but we haven't used that many. So I'm just wondering if they're coming up in a later issue. Sorry, I'm having real trouble getting my screwdriver onto these, but I think this is definitely time for the 00 screwdriver. It's just a case of holding it in place. So I'm just going to get the first one started, and then I'll go over to the second one. See, that looks to me be at an angle. Well, we'll see. Okay, and we'll screw that into place. Now, okay. Now, I would normally test this. But the reason why I'm not going to test it is because of that. If I was to switch it on, the motor would come round here, hit that and get stuck. Thus being an issue that you might burn out your motor or your cogs or anything like that. So I'm just going to leave that be now and test it when we need to test it. But that is issue 70 complete. Well, that's it for issue 70 of Build the X-Wing and the two issues that have been put out today. Next week on Wednesday there will be another two issues, but then the week after that we'll be back to just one issue per day, because we will be caught up on this model on when of it coming to us. So yeah, it's going to be good fun, and I honestly think it's 71 where we attach the gears to the X-Wing itself, so I think that's going to be an extremely interesting build. But if you like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell and you'll be notified of any future videos. But as for always guys, stay safe and bye for now. I'd just like to give a shout out to all my patrons that help and support the channel. Please check out their channels on YouTube as well, and thank you very much for watching.